The audience representing Telangana. The first Chief Minister of Telangana. Schemes have been highly appreciated by UNO as well.
తెలంగాణ రాష్ట్ర అవతరణ దినోత్సవ శుభ సందర్భంలో రాష్ట్ర ప్రజలందరికీ నా శుభాకాంక్షలు. 8 ఏళ్ల స్వల్ప కాలంలో తెలంగాణ రాష్ట్రం సాధించిన ప్రగతిని విశ్లేషించుకుంటే మనం సాధించిన ఘన విజయాలెన్నో కళ్ళ ముందు సాక్షాత్కరిస్తాయి.
If you analyze the rapid strides in progress, the state has made a lot of progress within a short span of 8 years, and it unveils in front of our eyes as a plethora of wonderful victories.
ప్రతి విషయంలో తెలంగాణ రాష్ట్రం అవతరించే నాటికి నేటి స్థితిగతులకు అసలు పోలికే లేదన్నది జగమెరిగిన సత్యం. ఆర్థిక వృద్ధిలో, తలసరి ఆదాయం పెరుగుదలలో, విద్యుత్ సరఫరాలో, తాగునీరు, సాగునీటి సదుపాయంలో, ప్రజా సంక్షేమంలో, పారిశ్రామిక ఐటీ రంగాల ప్రగతిలో అనేక రంగాల్లో మన రాష్ట్రం దేశానికి ఆదర్శంగా నిలవడం,
creating additional irrigation and drinking water, in welfare of the people, growth in IT and industries. In almost all states, Telangana has become a role model for the rest of the country, and it's a moment of pride for all of us.
దేశానికి దిశానిర్దేశం చేసే కరదీపికగా మారింది.
Telangana region had unleashed a relentless struggle for 60 years for its own identity and existence, and had reached the pinnacle of development, and it stood with a sense of pride in the world. In a short span of 8 years, the Telangana state has become a kind of a role model for the country to follow. All this was possible because of the blessings of the people and the government employees who worked with commitment and dedication, which is a fact that no one can deny.
తెలంగాణ దేశంలోనే అగ్రస్థానంలో నిలిచింది. ఎన్నో అవరోధాలు ఎదురైనా కరోనా వంటి
financial prudence and a perfect planning, we could increase our revenue sources from 2014 to 2019 with 17.24% average annual economic growth. Telangana state became number 1 in the country. Despite several obstacles and a deadly pandemic like corona, Telangana state is making rapid strides in the country. In fact, the Economic Survey of India in 2020-2021 has congratulated Telangana that it could come out so quickly from the crisis of corona. This is a certificate for the Telangana state for its prudent fiscal management and financial discipline.
11,54,860 కోట్ల రూపాయలకు చేరింది. పెరిగిన
In fact, in
ఆదాయంలో
the financial year 2013-14 Telangana state, when it was formed, the state GSDP was about 5,05,000 crores. But by financial year 2021-2022, it has gone up to more than 11,54,860 crores. The state government is ensuring that for the increase in revenue, every penny is spent in a useful manner and incurring capital expenditure in a planned manner. Telangana has in fact set a record of sorts in increase in per capita income. In 2014-15, the state's per capita income on an average was 1,24,000, and it has increased by 2021-22 to 2,78,000. That is a whopping 86% above the national average of 1,49,848 rupees.
ఈనాడు రాష్ట్రంలో అన్ని
It's an
రంగాలకు
auspicious
నిరంతర
development that Telangana state's per capita income is being increased day after day, much more than the national average. And that's why Telangana has got into the history books as the only state that has put an end to power problems once and for all.
విద్యుత్ కోతలతో, పవర్ హాలిడేలతో ఉక్కిరిబిక్కిరైన విషయం మనందరికీ తెలుసు. రాష్ట్రం ఏర్పడే
I
నాటికి
feel
ఉన్న
happy and
స్థాపిత
state pride to announce that Telangana is the only state in the country which is supplying 24-hour uninterrupted power supply to all sectors, and Telangana state is the only state which is in fact providing free power supply to farmers. We know that at the time of formation of the state, Telangana state had faced a power crisis with power cuts, power holidays, and with no nearby solution available then.
478 మెగావాట్ల రికార్డు స్థాయి పెరుగుదల సాధించింది. తలసరి విద్యుత్ వినియోగంలో
When the state was formed, the installed capacity of power generation was only 7,778 megawatts. With the efforts put in by the state government, now the installed capacity has gone up to 17,305 megawatts. In the past 8 years, solar power has also increased from a mere 74 megawatts to 4,478 megawatts, which is a record in itself. The Telangana state has stood first in the country among major states in per capita power consumption. In 2014, power consumption was 1,110 units and it has now increased to 2,012 units. When compared to the national per capita power consumption, it is about 73% more.
తాగునీటి సమస్య పరిష్కారానికి యుద్ధ ప్రాతిపదికపై
Next, on the drinking water, when Telangana was part of Andhra Pradesh, villages were struggling for drinking water and also irrigation water, and Nalgonda was in fact known everywhere for the wrong reasons for fluoride problems, whereas people living in the district had become victims of fluorosis and left to their fate with broken, deformed bones and other such fluoride-related diseases. But the moment Telangana was formed, the state government on a mission mode has launched Mission Bhagiratha scheme to provide safe and pure drinking water to people in the state. It's a matter of pleasure and happiness for me to declare that today 100% habitation households are provided with clean, pure and safe drinking water. Our government should in fact be appreciated for the successful completion of such a major scheme within a short span of time. Many people have praised the Mission Bhagiratha scheme, and it has in fact won the National Water Mission Award. The central government has suggested that other states in fact take up Mission Bhagiratha as a role model and implement the same in their states. It's a matter of pride for us that representatives from several states and officials have visited the state and observed the way Mission Bhagiratha is being implemented.
వ్యవసాయ రంగం కుదేలైపోయింది. సాగునీరు లేదు, బోర్లపై ఆధారపడదామంటే కరెంటు లేదు, పెట్టుబడి కూడా అందుబాటులో ఉండేది కాదు.
There is a time when drinking water was not available, but now there are no women standing in queues to collect water and there are no fights over water. Mission Bhagiratha is an example of the dedicated efforts of the state government to quench the thirst of the people. Agriculture is another area in which the government has made major strides. At that time, there is no water for irrigation and people depended on their well and there is no power for drawing out the water and there is no investment. After my extensive tours of the state, I watched the situation at the ground level and found that farmers were committing suicide due to debt, trap. My heart was broken and I was stunned. I was terribly moved by the plights of farmers who are facing the crisis despite the fact that both River Krishna and Godavari flow through the very region. This is precisely the reason why I concentrated more and focused on agriculture sector and for the welfare of farmers. By successfully bringing in the necessary reforms, I have introduced several innovative schemes and Telangana has now become Sajala Sujala Sashya Shyamal Telangana, where the quality of water provided is in sufficient quantities to make the state a more fertile land. To reduce the farmers' debt, schemes like waiver of farmer loans, 24-hour free power, revival of tanks at the Mission Kakatiya, making availability of quality seeds, fertilizers on time, taking stringent action against the supply of spurious seeds, creating a cluster of 5,000 acres and appointment of an agriculture extension officer, construction of Raitu Vedika, creation of threshing floors, creating Raitu Bandhu Samitis, providing the required input financial assistance in the Raitu Bandhu, Raitu Bima policy for dependent families of deceased farmers, completing the irrigation projects on fast track and making the water available for irrigation for free, waiver of water cess dues, and a host of other farmer and pro-agriculture initiatives prove that agriculture is not a waste, but it has now become a festival. It is no exaggeration that Telangana is the only state in the annals of 75 years of independent India which extended 50,000 crore rupees to farmers as input financial assistance for growing crops. Other states are now taking our schemes as an ideal. In Telangana region, chain of tanks has been provided for irrigation and drinking water purpose for thousands of years. But they were destroyed because of negligence. They reached a dilapidated state. Under Mission Kakatiya, those were revitalized and stabilized 15 lakh acres under them. So the water capacity storage has increased and these were integrated with the irrigation water project, resulting in water being full in the tanks even in peak summer. The groundwater level has also increased hugely and fish water culture has increased by leaps and bounds, resulting in fishermen earning decent profits. We have also completed on speed track projects like Kalvakurti, Netampadu, Koilsagar, Bhima, Yellanpalli and Midmaneru, Devadula and also other projects, Palamuru and Rangareddy, Sitarama, Dindi, Tanakakorata and other projects are also going on speedily. The construction of Kaleshwaram project is a rare occasion in the history of the country. They have stunned the world by completing such a giant project within a short period of 3 years. We have completed the biggest and largest lift irrigation project in the world in a record time, which is only possible in a country like China. Water is available in abundance in Annapurna, Ranganayaka Sagar, Mallanna Sagar, Kondapochamma Sagar reservoirs, which is part of Kaleshwaram. The works on Baswapur Reservoir have come to the final stage. So the biggest reservoir among the lift irrigation projects in the world is the Mallanna Sagar Reservoir, with a storage capacity of 50 TMC.
కొమరవెల్లి మల్లన్న పాదాలు అభిషేకించి మొక్కు తీర్చుకున్నాం పోరాడి
We
సాధించుకున్న
brought Kaleshwaram waters to Mallanna Sagar and washed the feet of Lord Komaravelli Mallanna and have fulfilled our vow. It is a moment of pride for us for getting our Telangana state and making it a fertile one within a short period.
మాత్రమే సాగునీటి సౌకర్యం ఉండేది 2021 నాటికి
there was water only to irrigate 20 lakh acres in the region. By 2021, the government had created irrigation water facility to increase it to 85 lakh acres.
ప్రాజెక్టులు కాలువలు చెరువులు చెక్ డ్యాంలు ఆనకట్టలు కత్వలు చిన్న పెద్ద ఎత్తిపోతల పథకాలు ఒకే గొడుగు కిందికి తెచ్చి
done by bringing in all the major, minor, small irrigation schemes, projects, canals, tanks, check dams, anicuts, and also the irrigation-related work, small and major lift irrigation schemes under one umbrella. They are marching forward with renewed vigor to supply water to 1 crore acres in the state.
దేశంలో మరే రాష్ట్రంలో లేని విధంగా తెలంగాణ రాష్ట్రంలో దళిత బంధు పథకాన్ని ఒక సామాజిక ఉద్యమంగా అమలు పరుచుకుంటూ ఉన్నాం.
For the first time in the country, Dalit Bandhu scheme is being implemented in the state as a social reform movement aimed at development of the Dalit community, which was earlier subjected to discrimination.
సంకల్పం ఆ లక్ష్య సాధన కోసం నేనే స్వయంగా దళిత బంధు పథకానికి రూపకల్పన చేశాను. ఈ
The
పథకం
government
కింద
aims through the scheme is to liberate Dalits from discrimination by strengthening them economically and to make them live with self-reliance and empowerment. I have personally drafted the scheme with this aim and goal. Under the scheme, the government is extending 10 lakh rupees as financial assistance to each Dalit family. This is in fact not a loan and there is no need to pay it back. This is full grant given by the government. The beneficiary can start any business and occupation with the money given by the government. He is free to take up any choice, any business or work of his choice. Not only this,
ఆనందం వ్యక్తం చేస్తున్నారు. దళిత బంధు పథకం ద్వారా అందించే ఆర్థిక సహాయానికి అదనంగా ప్రభుత్వం లబ్ధిదారుల భాగస్వామ్యంతో దళిత రక్షణ నిధిని కూడా ఏర్పాటు చేస్తున్నది. దళిత బంధు ద్వారా లబ్ధి పొందిన కుటుంబం కాలక్రమంలో ఏదైనా ఆపదకు గురైతే ఆ కుటుంబం
they can
ఆపద
also
నుండి
form a
తేరుకొని
group and pool in their money and start a business. The greatness of the scheme is that there are no conditions imposed on the beneficiary and several Dalits have taken the benefit of the scheme and expressed happiness. So along with the financial grant that is given under the scheme, the state government has also launched what is called a Dalita Rakshana Nidhi. In this case, if any beneficiary meets with any unfortunate eventuality, then Dalita Rakshana Nidhi will come to the financial rescue of the family.
ప్రభుత్వం దళితులకు 10% రిజర్వేషన్లు అమలు చేస్తున్నది. ఇటీవల
Not
రాష్ట్రంలో
just this, in businesses, profitable businesses like the setting up of wine shops, medical and fertilizer shops, supplying essential commodities to the government, running of hotels, in all of that, under the Dalit Bandhu scheme, there is a 10% reservation for Dalits. So this has been done in the newly opened shops, wine shops in the state, about 2,616 of them, and 261 shops were allocated to the Dalits.
మహోన్నత ఆశయంతో ఉద్యమ స్ఫూర్తితో అందిస్తున్న ఈ పథకాన్ని లబ్ధిదారులందరూ సద్వినియోగం చేసుకోవాలని మరొకసారి విజ్ఞప్తి చేస్తూ
The
ఉన్నారు.
government has in fact allocated 70,700 crores under this budget, and I appeal to all the beneficiaries to make use of this wonderful scheme with a missionary zeal, aim, lofty ambition, and with the spirit of the movement.
ఏకైక రాష్ట్రం తెలంగాణ. ప్రభుత్వం
In
ఇప్పటి
fact,
వరకు
Telangana is the only state in the country which is giving 2-bedroom houses free of cost to the poor, poorest to the poor, who have no shelter, making their dream a reality.
సొంత స్థలం కలిగిన వారికి డబుల్ బెడ్రూమ్ ఇంటి నిర్మాణానికి దశల వారీగా 3 లక్షల రూపాయలు మంజూరు చేసే కార్యక్రమాన్ని
So far,
ప్రభుత్వం చేపట్టింది.
2.91 lakh houses were sanctioned, and for this, 19,126 crore rupees was allocated. The government has also launched a scheme to extend assistance of 3 lakh rupees in phases for those who wish to construct their own houses on the plot that they own. This is a continuous process and will be continued till the last beneficiary.
978 గురుకుల విద్యాలయాలు కలిగిన ఏకైక రాష్ట్రం మన తెలంగాణ.
The state government has also given importance to Gurukula Vidya in the first phase, and Telangana state is the only state in the country which had 978 residential education institutions. These education institutions are imparting and training to students to compete at national and international levels, and they are getting wonderful results.
ప్రభుత్వం మన ఊరు మన బడి అనే బృహత్తర కార్యక్రమానికి నాంది పలికింది.
The state government has also launched a Mana Uru Mana Badi, which is Our Village, Our School scheme to strengthen the education in the government institutions and make them on par with the corporate institutions in the state. Modern infrastructure has been taken up in the schools in a large scale to meet to the needs. The state government has also taken up development works in all the schools in a phased manner at a cost of 7,289 crores. In the first unit, taking Mandal as a unit, about 9,123 schools in the state at a cost of 3,497 crores. An action plan has been initiated.
రాష్ట్రంలో కొత్తగా అటవీ విశ్వవిద్యాలయాన్ని కూడా ఏర్పాటు చేయాలని ప్రభుత్వం నిర్ణయించింది.
The government is also of the belief that women should be in the forefront of education. For this, the exclusive women university is planned to be established, and the state government is also planning to set up an exclusive forest university in the state.
ప్రజా వైద్యం ఆరోగ్య రంగాలలో రోజు రోజుకు గుణాత్మక పురోగతిని సాధిస్తున్నది. తెలంగాణ అవతరణ అనంతరం
the aim is that every person in the state should have good health and live with happiness and peace, and therefore the state government is making special efforts for public health protection and achieving qualitative change in the medical and health sector.
మౌలిక సదుపాయాలు మెరుగుపరిచింది. అధునాతన వైద్య పరికరాలు సమకూర్చింది. 57 వైద్య పరీక్షలు ఉచితంగా అందుబాటులో
తెచ్చేందుకు the formation of the state has initiated a slew of measures to extend better medical services to the poor. First, it had improved medical services and infrastructure in the government hospitals.
ఏర్పాటు చేసింది.
The state government has provided sophisticated medical equipment and facilities in the government hospitals in every district. In fact, at the district headquarters, diagnostic centers have been created to conduct 57 medical tests free of cost to the poor. 42 free dialysis centers were opened for patients suffering with kidney ailments. For the first time in the country, all the beds in the government hospitals have been converted into oxygen beds. There are about 56,000 oxygen beds available in the state. Cath lab services were brought in for heart surgeries in various hospitals. Government hospitals are also undertaking knee replacement surgeries. State government has substantially increased the funds for providing more beds in hospitals, extending better medical facilities, nutritious food for the patients, and improve the sanitation conditions in the government hospitals. For the benefit of the patients, nutritious meal, in fact 5 rupees is given to each person in 18 government hospitals under the GHMC to the attendance of the patients. 300 Amma Odi vehicles are pressed into service to bring pregnant women to the government hospitals.
మాతా శిశు సంరక్షణ కోసం ప్రవేశపెట్టిన కేసీఆర్ కిట్ పథకం సత్ఫలితాలను ఇస్తున్నది.
These vehicles also take the women home free of cost after the delivery. Telangana state is in fact stood first in the country to identify high-risk pregnancies and increase the number of deliveries in government hospitals. Another very popular scheme and very successful scheme has been the KCR Kit scheme that has been introduced for the welfare of both the mother and child, and it is giving very good results. Under the scheme, mother is given 13,000 rupees if a baby girl is born and 12,000 rupees if a baby boy is born. In addition to this, a kit with 16 essential items to both the mother and kid are given free of cost. So far, under the KCR Kit scheme, 13.3 lakh women were benefited. With this, the deliveries at the government hospital increased to 56% from 30%. The mother and infant mortality rate has decreased considerably. This has been a good development. The government has also brought medical services available to the doorstep of the poor residing in the Hyderabad Basti. For this, the state government has sanctioned 350 Basti Davakhanas. Already 256 of them have started functioning. 60 more Davakhanas will be launched in other municipalities and corporations in the state. With the spirit of Basti Davakhanas, the state government is also establishing village Davakhanas to extend primary health services in the villages. The government is also starting 4 Telangana Institute of Medical Sciences, which are super specialty hospitals in all 4 directions in the Hyderabad city in order to extend corporate medical facilities to people in Hyderabad as well as neighboring districts.
సూపర్ స్పెషాలిటీ
LB Nagar, Sanat Nagar, Gachibowli, all these areas in fact have the KIMS hospitals.
1000 పడకలు ఏర్పాటు అవుతాయి. ఈ ఆసుపత్రులలో సూపర్ స్పెషాలిటీ వైద్య సేవలతో పాటు వైద్య విద్యను అందించే సౌకర్యం కూడా అందుబాటులో ఉంటుంది. 16 స్పెషాలిటీలు
2,679 crores is being spent to set up super speciality hospitals with 1,000 beds each at the Alwar, LB Nagar, Sanat Nagar and Gachibowli. These hospitals will also have medical teaching facilities to impart courses to 16 specialties, 15 super specialties, PG courses, and nursing and paramedical education as well. The government has also decided to increase bed strength at the Nizam Institute of Medical Sciences to additional 2,000 beds. With this, there will be about 3,489 beds that will be available at NIMS. Government has also decided to set up a health city in Warangal, where the Kaloji Narayan Rao Health University was established.
Telangana
I'm happy to tell you that construction works of super speciality hospitals with 2,000 beds in Warangal has already been started.
దురదృష్టవశాత్తు మరణిస్తే మృతదేహాన్ని ప్రభుత్వ అంబులెన్సులలో ఇంటి వద్ద వదిలిపెట్టేందుకు ప్రభుత్వం పరమపద వాహనాలను అందుబాటులోకి తెచ్చింది. ఇది ఇండియాలో కాదు.
Introduced a provision under which anyone who is undergoing treatment in Hyderabad, if there is a death that unfortunately occurs, then the mortal remains can be sent to the native place of the person in a hearse vehicle free of cost.
ప్రభుత్వ పనితీరుకు ప్రబల నిదర్శనంగా మనవి చేస్తూ ఉన్నాను. తెలంగాణ ప్రాంతంలో గతంలో కేవలం 3 మాత్రమే ఉన్న వైద్య కళాశాలలను ఇకపై జిల్లాకి ఒకటి ఏర్పాటు చేయాలని ప్రభుత్వం లక్ష్యంగా పెట్టుకున్నది. రాగల 2 ఏళ్లలో ఈ లక్ష్యాన్ని నెరవేర్చనుంది.
Instead of just the three medical colleges in every district, we in fact want to establish it in every district in the country, in the state, and in the coming 2 years, we will be establishing medical colleges in every district of the state.
ప్రభుత్వ వైద్యశాలలు డయాగ్నోస్టిక్ కేంద్రాలలో ఎక్కడైనా ఒక చోట పరీక్షలు చేయిస్తే పరీక్షల రిపోర్ట్ల వివరాలు ఈ యాప్లో పొందుపరుస్తారు. ఆ తర్వాత రాష్ట్రంలో ఏ ఆసుపత్రికి వెళ్ళినా ఈ రిపోర్ట్ల ఆధారంగా డాక్టర్లు వైద్య సేవలు అందిస్తారు. తెలంగాణ పోరాటమే నినాదమే నిధులు నియామకాలు.
The government has also made provision for Telangana diagnostic app, where after you undergo any of these medical tests, those reports can be accessed anywhere in the state, and therefore any doctor who is treating you on the basis of these tests will be able to access the reports and provide the diagnostic. He'll have access to the diagnostics in order to be able to provide treatment.
రాష్ట్రంలో ఇప్పటికే దీర్ఘకాలంగా కాంట్రాక్ట్ పద్ధతిలో పనిచేస్తున్న 11,103
water funds and appointments were the slogans for the separate Telangana movement, and now we are getting funds after the formation of the state. We are constructing projects as per our needs. In the last 8 years, 1.33 lakh government jobs were filled. Now the state government is filling up 91,142 government vacancies just at one go. 11,106 contract employees who are working for a long time have been regularized on humanitarian consideration, and additional 80,039 jobs are going to be filled with new recruits. Telangana state stood as an ideal by recruiting 2,24,142 government jobs.
మధ్య మధ్యలో తగిన వ్యవధి ఇస్తూ నోటిఫికేషన్లు విడుదల చేయాలని
The state government has also given 10 years relaxation to the age limit for new recruits. The issue of notification for filling up of jobs in various departments has already been initiated, and the state government has issued orders to officials to ensure that there is gap between examinations to help the aspirants compete in all the recruitment tests. The state government is also implementing a foolproof method to render justice to local candidates. For this, it has got the President's assent for the amendment to Article 371D. This is a historical win for the people of Telangana to fulfill their age-old aspiration. With this amendment, from the attender to the revenue development officer, local candidates will have 95% reservation. Telangana state is the first in the country which has given 95% reservation to locals. The government has also created history by filling up jobs on a huge scale. The state government, through various departments, is providing free study material and free coaching, with boarding to the SC, ST, minority candidates, and coaching to the students has already started in the BC study circles as well.
సమైక్య పాలనలో ధ్వంసమైన వృత్తులకు ప్రభుత్వం ఆర్థిక ప్రేరణ ఇచ్చి ఆదుకుంటున్నది. ఇందులో భాగంగా
The hereditary professions that were destroyed under the United Rule, the Telangana government is providing financial help and encouragement to those. As a part of this, the government is supplying fish seedlings to fishermen at free of cost.
రిజర్వాయర్లు నిండి చెరువులు కుంటలు జలకళ సంతరించుకున్నాయి. చేపల పెంపకానికి విస్తృత అవకాశం
encouraging fish farming in all possible places in the state. After the completion of Kaleshwaram and other irrigation projects, the reservoirs were filled, and so were the land tanks, lake tanks, and those were also filled with abundant water, and this has made wider opportunities available for the fishing community.
రాష్ట్రంలోని వివిధ జలాశయాలలో ప్రభుత్వమే రొయ్యలు చేపపిల్లలు వదిలి మత్స్య సంపదను అభివృద్ధి చేస్తూ ఉన్నది.
So with this, fish productivity has increased and fishermen were financially empowered, drastically making a qualitative change in their lives. There is a decrease in fish import from other states. For the welfare of the fishermen, the government is also releasing prawns and fish seedlings in different reservoirs at its own cost, thus developing the fish wealth in the state. State government has also allowed Gangaputra and Mudiraj communities to do this free fishing. In the last 8 years, 25,782 crore of fish wealth has been created.
ప్రభుత్వం ఇచ్చిన ప్రోత్సాహంతో గొల్ల కురుమలు మన రాష్ట్రాన్ని గొర్రెల పెంపకంలో నంబర్ 1 గా నిలిపారు. వారి ఆదాయం కూడా బాగా పెరిగింది.
The scheme that was launched for the welfare of Golla Kurumas and the other communities has also yielded fantastic results. The state has become self-reliant in meat production with the increase in sheep. Golla Kurumas have in fact made the state number 1 in sheep rearing, and their income has also increased several fold.
పరిహారాన్ని తెలంగాణ ప్రభుత్వం 50,000 రూపాయల నుండి 5 లక్షల రూపాయలకు పెంచింది.
For the welfare of the Gowd brothers, the previous
గౌడ సోదరులకు
were raised and tax and farm fees was also abolished permanently. The Telangana government has increased its ratio from 50,000 rupees to 5 lakh rupees to toddy tappers who die in accidents or become handicapped.
తాటి చెట్ల నుండి ఉత్పత్తి అయ్యే నీరాను సాఫ్ట్ డ్రింక్ గా ప్రవేశపెట్టడం కోసం ప్రభుత్వం ప్రత్యేక పాలసీని అమలు చేస్తున్నది.
The government has taken a historic decision, giving 15% reservation to the Gowd community in allotment of wine shops. With this decision, so far 393 Gowd community brothers have got the licenses. The state government is implementing a special policy to bring Meera under the soft drink category.
రైతన్నల మాదిరిగానే 5 లక్షల రూపాయల బీమా సౌకర్యం కల్పించాలని ప్రభుత్వం నిర్ణయించింది.
The state government is also giving free power up to 250 units to Dobighats, laundries and hairdressing saloons. And the workers have been given jobs to make Batkama sarees, and 50% subsidy is being given on chemicals and yarn. The state government has also decided to extend 5 lakh rupees as insurance to the handloom workers, just like it is being given to the farmers. It gives immense pleasure for the government's actions in giving encouragement to various professions, leading to increase in their income.
కేవలం 12 మాత్రమే. ప్రభుత్వం కొత్తగా
Telangana is a secular place where all religions, cultures live in peace, and it is a melting pot of all religions and cultures. The government has given due respect to all religions and continues to aid Ganga Jamna Tehzeeb. The minority residential education institutions were only 12 at the time of formation of the state. The state government has newly formed 192 minority gurukulams for minority girls. 50% new gurukulams were launched. With this, the minority girl enrollment, which was 18%, has increased to 42%. The government is also celebrating festivals like Batukamma, Christmas, Bonalu and Ramzan festivals officially in a befitting manner and spreading happiness among citizens.
మరింత సమర్థవంతంగా అమలవుతూ ఉన్నాయి. భూ వివాదాల పరిష్కారానికి తగిన సంస్కరణలు తెచ్చింది.
The government has assured in many reforms in need with the governance need, and with the reforms, welfare and development programs are being implemented with more efficiency. Required reforms were brought in for the solution of land disputes as well. The government has rectified land records and issued new passbooks. Dharani portal was also launched.
నవశకానికి నాంది పలికింది. రాష్ట్రాన్ని 33 జిల్లాలుగా పునర్వ్యవస్థీకరించడంతో పాటు కొత్త డివిజన్లు, కార్పొరేషన్లు, మున్సిపాలిటీలు, గ్రామ పంచాయతీలు ఏర్పాటు చేసుకున్నాం. మా గూడెంలో మా పాలన, మా తండాలో మా పాలన అనే
Dharani portal that was launched has brought in more transparency in the land records. The rectification of land records has happened. New passports have been issued, and without this, people without any problem were able to complete land registration, mutation process with ease. Dharani portal has ushered in a new phase in the land administration. Along with this, we have also done reorganization of 33 districts, new revenue divisions, corporations, municipalities, gram panchayats have been formed. All the scheduled tribes, tandas and gudams were converted into panchayats in tune with the long-pending demand of the scheduled tribes. Ma gudam lo ma palana, ma tanda lo ma palana, which means that we rule our own areas. 3,146 tribals have become sarpanches. The government is also constructing new panchayat bhavans to these panchayats.
దీనిని ఈ ఏడాదిలోనే ప్రారంభించడానికి వీలుగా నిర్మాణ పనులు అత్యంత వేగంగా సాగుతున్నాయి. ఈ భవన నిర్మాణం పూర్తయితే
new integrated collectorate complexes were built with state-of-the-art facilities. Already a few of these complexes have started functioning. Camp offices for MLAs have also been constructed in the constituency, which is one of its kind in the world. To reflect the true aspirations of Telangana, a new secretariat building is being built in Hyderabad to enhance Telangana's prestige. It is spread over 7 lakh square feet space with 7 floors. Works are going on in fast track, and we will be able to inaugurate this building in this year itself. After completion of the construction of the secretariat building, more services will be available to the people.
విధంగా తీర్చిదిద్దుకుందామని తెలియజేస్తూ ఉన్నాను. రాష్ట్రంలో కొత్తగా నిర్మించిన జలాశయాలన్నీ ప్రకృతి రమణీయమైన ప్రదేశాలతో ఉండడం మన అదృష్టం. ప్రాజెక్టుల పరిధిలో ఉన్న జలాశయాలన్నింటినీ ప్రభుత్వం అద్భుతంగా
Yadadri Narasimha Swami Temple, which is regarded as one of the Pancha Narasimha Kshetram, that has also been rebuilt and renovated. Yadadri Temple works are going on at a fast track on an international level. And quality is calling 1,000 acres. Devotees have donated generously for this. We are fortunate that newly constructed irrigation projects and reservoirs are located in naturally exquisite sites. The government is developing reservoirs falling under these projects as tourist spots, thus providing all facilities to the tourists. As part of this, 1,500 crores was allocated in the budget for the development of Kaleshwaram circuit tourism.
శాంతి భద్రతలు సుస్థిర ప్రభుత్వం పారిశ్రామికవేత్తలకు అందిస్తున్న ప్రోత్సాహంతో పెట్టుబడులు వెల్లువెత్తుతున్నాయి.
The brand image of Hyderabad metropolitan city has increased multifold. Telangana has stood first in attracting foreign investments. Investments are flooding the state with introduction of schemes like the TS iPass Act, uninterrupted quality power supply, water supply, best maintenance of law and order, stable government, and encouragement to the industrialists. In the last 8 years, investments flooded the state to the level of 2,32,111 crores in the industrial sector. 16,48,956 lakh jobs were created.
Microsoft, Google, Apple.
The IT sector, Telangana has been moving forward. Hyderabad alone has about 1,500 IT companies, large, medium and small companies, and world's major IT companies like Google, Microsoft, IBM, Cognizant, Apple, Amazon, Oracle have established operations from Hyderabad. IT exports from Hyderabad account for 1,83,569 crores. We stand as an ideal model for other states in the IT sector.
సంస్కరణల శాఖ రూపొందించిన సుపరిపాలన సూచిలో మన రాష్ట్రం పరిశ్రమలు వాణిజ్య రంగంలో ప్రథమ స్థానంలో నిలిచింది. ఈ 8 ఏళ్లలో
the government is first in good governance in the Good Governance Index prepared by the Central Good Governance Institute in the category of commerce and trade. In the last 8 years, 7,78,121 jobs were created in the IT sector. In both industry and IT sector, more than 24 lakh jobs were created.
పంచుకున్న ఉద్యోగులతో ప్రభుత్వం స్నేహపూర్వకంగా వ్యవహరిస్తోంది. రాష్ట్రం అవతరించిన వెంటనే తెలంగాణ రాష్ట్ర
treating all those employees who had in fact participated in the separate Telangana struggle with a lot of affection and care and have extended them full support. The state government has sanctioned special increment to them soon after formation of the state and has given them a whopping 43% fitment. Despite the corona crisis, the employees were given to a 30% fitment. 30% salary increase was also given to the contract outsourcing employees.
ఉద్యోగులు ఎవరంటే వారు మన తెలంగాణ ఉద్యోగులని సగర్వంగా తెలియజేస్తూ ఉన్నాను.
I'm proud to say that Telangana state government employees are in fact the most highly paid employees in the country.
ఆయా వ్యవస్థలను పునర్నిర్మించుకోవడం అంత తేలికైన పని కాదు. 6 దశాబ్దాల
systems after total destruction at anywhere and any time.
తిరిగి బాగు చేసుకోవడానికి రాష్ట్ర ప్రభుత్వం ఎంతో కష్టపడాల్సి వస్తోంది. అదే సందర్భంలో మన రాష్ట్రాన్ని మనం బాగు చేసుకోవడంలో
great efforts to rebuild the different fields which are destroyed in Telangana during the 6 decades of the United States.
మన పల్లెలు పట్టణాల రూపురేఖలే మారిపోయాయనడంలో అతిశయోక్తి లేదు. దేశంలోని ఏ
Without
రాష్ట్రంలో
effort,
జరగని
it's no exaggeration to say that the entire topography of our villages and urban areas has changed with the implementation of Palle Pragati and Patana Pragati program.
256 కోట్ల 66 లక్షల రూపాయల నిధులు నేరుగా విడుదల
This has
చేస్తున్నది.
no parallel anywhere in the country, and the government is in fact releasing 256.66 crore rupees monthly for the development directly to the local rural bodies.
అంత్యక్రియల కోసం ఆధునిక వస్తువులతో వైకుంఠ ధామాలను సైతం ఏర్పాటు చేసిన ఒకే ఒక్క
Telangana
రాష్ట్రం
is the only country that is
తెలంగాణ.
in fact providing tractors, trolleys, tankers to the panchayat, setting up of dump yards, and even Vaikuntha Dhamams with modern facilities so that each families can conduct last rites with reverence and respect and dignity to the dead.
గ్రామీణ జీవన ప్రమాణాలలో గుణాత్మకమైన
Villages
అభివృద్ధి
are
వచ్చింది.
spreading
ప్రభుత్వం అమలు చేసిన
happiness
పల్లె ప్రగతి
with green trees on both sides of the road, nurseries and Prakriti Vanam.
విశేషంగా గుర్తింపు ఆదరణ లభిస్తున్నది. రెండు పర్యాయాలుగా
The
కేంద్ర
greenery
ప్రభుత్వం
and
ప్రకటించిన
sanitation
ఉత్తమ
have in
గ్రామాల్లో
fact been
మొదటి
appreciated,
దశలో 10కి 10
and
గ్రామాలు,
that's become the
రెండవ
epitome
దశలో
of
20కి 19
Gram Swaraj.
తెలంగాణ రాష్ట్రం నుంచే ఎంపిక కావడం మనందరికీ గర్వ కారణం. పల్లె ప్రగతి పట్టణ ప్రగతి
Special
కార్యక్రమాన్ని
recognition has in fact been received for both Palle Pragati and Patana Pragati programs.
తిరిగి మరో దఫా
For 2 times, the first phase 10 out of 10 villages, and in the second phase 19 out of 20 villages were adjudged as the best by the center, and this has made us immensely proud.
ఎదిగేందుకు ప్రతి గ్రామంలో తెలంగాణ గ్రామీణ క్రీడా ప్రాంగణం ఏర్పాటు
The
చేయాలని
Palle Pragati
ప్రభుత్వం
and
నిర్ణయం
Patana Pragati
తీసుకున్నది.
is a continuous
ఈ రోజు
program,
నుంచే
and the next
ఎంపిక
phase of
చేసిన
Palle
కొన్ని
and
గ్రామాల్లో
Patana Pragati
ఈ
will be
క్రీడా
launched from
ప్రాంగణాలను
tomorrow. And
ఏర్పాటు
the
చేస్తున్నామని
government has now decided that there will be a Telangana rural sports
తెలంగాణ
complex
రాష్ట్రం
in every village in Telangana so that future generations can grow with
అన్ని
physical
రంగాలలో
fitness and
సాధించిన
mental
ప్రగతి
well-being.
పైన ఇటీవల కొన్ని జాతీయ మీడియా
Rural
సంస్థలు
sports complexes will also come up in Telangana
అది
in
చూసిన
select
ఇతర
villages.
రాష్ట్రాల వారు ఆశ్చర్యంతో ఇంత తక్కువ కాలంలో ఇంతటి అభివృద్ధి ఎలా సాధ్యమైందని
The broadcast in certain national channels of the rapid developments made by Telangana has in fact amazed other states.
అందుకు సహకరించిన ప్రజలకు
I
ప్రజాప్రతినిధులకు
thank the people
అధికార
and the public
యంత్రాంగానికి
representatives,
అందరికీ కూడా
officials for making this
హృదయపూర్వకంగా
unprecedented development
అభినందనలు
possible.
తెలియజేస్తున్నాను. రాష్ట్రం ఏర్పడిన అతి కొద్ది కాలంలో అత్యంత అభివృద్ధిని సాధించి తెలంగాణలోని ప్రతి పౌరుని హృదయంలో గొప్ప స్థానాన్ని
In a
ప్రభుత్వం
short time,
సంపాదించుకుంది.
since the formation of the state government has managed to achieve great development and has earned a place in the heart of every citizen of Telangana.
నిర్ణయాలలో మానవీయ కోణంతో పాటు కార్యక్రమాలలో గట్టి పట్టుదల ఉంటే సాధించలేనిది ఏది ఉండదు. అనతి
So with
కాలంలోనే
integrity, committee, dedication, commitment, dedication, unwavering concern for the solution of people's problems, transparency in governance and a human perspective on decisions, as well as firm perseverance in the implementation of programs, Telangana has managed to achieve a lot.
దేశంలో మరో రాష్ట్రంలో లేని విధంగా
Tremendous wealth is in fact being created in the state. Land value in the state has increased several fold.
రాష్ట్రంలో ఈ రోజు ప్రభుత్వ పథకం చేరని ఇల్లు లేదంటే అది అతిశయోక్తి కాదు.
There is no household in the state, in fact, that is not receiving some benefit or the other from the welfare programs of the state. Development and welfare go hand in hand, and the government, Telangana government is in fact the only state that implements unique welfare schemes.
పింఛన్ మొత్తాన్ని కూడా భారీగా పెంచి అమలు చేస్తున్నది. పేదించే ఆడబిడ్డను తల్లిదండ్రుల
The
గుండెలపై
eligibility limit for old age pension has been reduced to 57. This will extend ASRA support to more helpless people. The government has not only increased the number of pensioners, but also the amount of pension.
ఇప్పుడు 1,116 అందిస్తున్నది. ఈ పథకం
The
ద్వారా
Telangana government has also introduced the Kalyana Lakshmi and Shadi Mubarak scheme to ensure that poor parents do not feel their daughters as burden. And from 51,000 under Kalyana Lakshmi and Shadi Mubarak, the eligible bride is now given 1,116,000 rupees at the time of marriage to make girls
తెలిసిన ప్రభుత్వం
not be seen as burdens for family at the time of marriage. And this has also prevented child marriage.
ఎన్నో అద్భుతాలు 8
11,44,000 girls have benefited from the scheme.
చిరు ప్రాయంలో రాష్ట్రం సాధించిన విజయాలలో ఇప్పటివరకు
These are
నేను
not
పేర్కొన్న
promises made just in the election manifesto and are being implemented with a humanitarian heart. These are many miracles. These are just a few achievements of the state at a very young age of 8.
ప్రగతిశీల రాష్ట్రాలకు ప్రత్యేక ప్రోత్సాహం అందించాల్సింది పోయి నిరుత్సాహం
When
కలిగించేలా
Telangana was a part of Andhra Pradesh, United Rulers showed discrimination. Now the center is showing the same attitude to the independent state of Telangana.
నుంచే ఈ వివక్ష ప్రారంభమైంది. రాష్ట్ర ఆవిర్భావ వేడుకలైన జరుపుకోక ముందే ఖమ్మం
It is
జిల్లాలోని 7
unfortunate that the center is discouraging the progressive and development-oriented state. The discrimination has started from the initial days of formation of Telangana. Even before Telangana state celebrated its foundation day, the center had merged 7 mandals in Khammam district with Andhra Pradesh.
చెప్పాలంటే ఆనాటి నుంచి నేటి వరకు మన
As
రాష్ట్ర
a result, we lost the Sileru power project.
పోరాటాన్ని కొనసాగించవలసి వస్తూ ఉన్నది. 5 ఏళ్ల
The
పాటు
Telangana government at the beginning itself has observed a bunch protesting against the center. In one word, we are continuing our agitation to protect the interests of the state against the center.
భవనాలను సమర్థవంతంగా సమకూర్చుకున్నాం. రాష్ట్రంలో
Center delayed the division of the United Andhra Pradesh High Court for 5 years. After establishing our High Court, we have procured required employees, funds and buildings. The Supreme Court's Chief Justice of India had recently appreciated the Telangana government for its measures to strengthen the legal system. The center also did not pay heed to Niti Aayog, which recommended that the center should release 24,000 crore rupees to Mission Bhagirath and Mission Kakatiya schemes. I have personally made requests many times to the Prime Minister to grant additional funds to the newly formed state, but they were all in vain.
ఆ క్లిష్ట సమయంలో కూడా కేంద్రం రాష్ట్రాలకు ఒక నయా పైసా కూడా అదనంగా సహాయం అందించలేదు. పైగా న్యాయంగా రావాల్సిన నిధులపై
Even
కూడా
during the time of the financial crisis faced by our country due to corona, even at that time the state government did not get any additional help from the center.
ప్రకటించింది. కానీ ఈ జిల్లాలకు రావాల్సిన నిధులు ఇవ్వడంలో తగని జాప్యం చేస్తూ ఉన్నది.
But its flash funds that are to be given to the state. The center has also declared 9 districts as backward districts in the United Andhra Pradesh. But the center is delaying in providing any funds to these districts.
కేంద్రం ప్రోత్సాహకాలు ఏవి ఇవ్వడం లేదు. విభజన చట్టంలోని హామీలన్నీ బుట్టదాఖలు చేస్తున్నది. బయ్యారం స్టీల్ ప్లాంట్
The AP Reorganization Act stipulated that tax exemptions should be given to allow more investments to the newly formed state, but the center has not given any such incentives. All promises made under the AP Reorganization Act, such as Bayaram Steel Factory, Kazipet Coach Factory, were consigned to the dustbin.
ఉపాధి అవకాశాలు లభించి ఉండేవి.
The center did injustice to the state by not setting up the ITIR in the state. Had it been done, the state would have made more progress in the IT sector, and directly and indirectly, several lakh people would have got employment.
కాలయాపన చేయడాన్ని తెలంగాణ ప్రభుత్వం నిర్ద్వంద్వంగా ఖండిస్తున్నది. ఇటీవల
The Telangana government is condemning the government at the center for delaying to delimit the constituencies in 2 states, as clearly mentioned in the AP Reorganization Act.
మన దేశంలోనే వైద్య విద్య కొనసాగించే విధంగా ఏర్పాట్లు చేయాలని ప్రధానమంత్రికి నేను స్వయంగా లేఖ కూడా రాశాను. మన రాష్ట్ర
We are aware of the plight of our students pursuing medicine and stranded in Ukraine due to the recent war. I have personally written to the Prime Minister requesting him to accommodate students in medical colleges in our country. I also informed him that our state government would bear the expenses of the medical education of these students who are studying in Ukraine. But as on date, there is no response.
రాష్ట్ర ప్రభుత్వం తీవ్రంగా ఆక్షేపిస్తున్నది. తెలంగాణ రైతాంగం పండించిన పంటను కొనుగోలు చేయడంలో కేంద్ర ప్రభుత్వం దారుణంగా విఫలమైంది.
The center has also failed in procuring paddy cultivated in Telangana.
తెలంగాణలో రైతులు పండించిన ప్రతి వడ్ల గింజను కేంద్ర ప్రభుత్వం కొనుగోలు చేయాలని నాతో సహా
In order to demand that the center should buy every morsel that is being cultivated by farmers in Telangana, we organized a dharna at Dharna Chowk along with ministers, public representatives, but that was futile.
నేను స్వయంగా పాల్గొనడం జరిగింది.
I personally participated in this agitation.
మనకు మద్దతుగా ఈ దీక్షలో పాల్గొన్నారు.
Bharatiya Kisan Union leader Rakesh Tikayat also participated in this along with me in Delhi.
సానుకూలమైన జవాబు రాలేదు. ఇప్పటివరకు
We asked him to take a decision on procuring paddy within 24 hours, but we got no reply.
కేంద్ర మంత్రి అవహేళనగా మాట్లాడడం జరిగింది. ఇంతకన్నా దురహంకారం మరేమైనా ఉంటుందా మనం ఆలోచించాలి. ఈ
One
వ్యాఖ్యలు
union minister in fact made sarcastic remarks on the issue, saying, "Let people in Telangana eat broken rice." Is there anything more arrogant than this? His remarks have hurt the feelings of Telangana people.
లేకపోతే రైతులు రోడ్లపైకి వస్తారని నేను కేంద్ర ప్రభుత్వాన్ని హెచ్చరిస్తూ ఉన్నాను. ఎవరితైనా
I'm
పెట్టుకోవచ్చు అని
warning the central government that farmers in the country are not beggars. There should be a uniform policy on paddy procurement all over the country, or else the farmers will hit the streets.
ఇకనైనా మానుకోవాలని కేంద్ర ప్రభుత్వాన్ని రాష్ట్ర రైతాంగం తరఫున నేను డిమాండ్ చేస్తూ
I am
ఉన్నాను.
asking the centre not to provoke farmers in the country. I demand the centre to shun its pro-corporate and anti-farmer policies immediately.
విద్యుక్త ధర్మంగా భావించి రైతు పండించిన ప్రతి గింజ కొనుగోలు చేసేందుకు రాష్ట్ర ప్రభుత్వమే నడుం బిగించింది. ధాన్యం దిగుబడి
The government thinks it is its bounden duty to come to the rescue of farmers, and as therefore the Telangana government has decided to purchase each and every grain cultivated by the farmers.
రైతన్నలకు రాష్ట్ర ప్రభుత్వం ఇదే విధంగా పూర్తి అండదండలు అందిస్తుందని మరోసారి నేను భరోసా ఇస్తూ ఉన్నాను. ప్రపంచ
The state of
దేశాలు
Telangana has made unprecedented progress in grain yield and procurement, and we assure our farmers that the state government will continue to stand by them even if the centre does not support them.
అత్యధిక దేశాలు ప్రాతినిధ్య ప్రజాస్వామ్య ప్రక్రియను అవలంబిస్తూ పార్లమెంటరీ పందాన్ని ఎంచుకున్నాయి. పరిణామ క్రమంలో ప్రజాస్వామ్యం పరిణతి చెందే కొద్దీ ఆయా దేశాలు అధికారాలను వికేంద్రీకరిస్తూ ప్రజా సాధికారతను పెంపొందించాయి. పౌర సమాజ
Many countries in
భాగస్వామ్యం
the world have in fact gone towards democracy and have adopted a parliamentary system, adopting a representative democratic process. As the democracy matures in the course of evolution, respective countries have increased public empowerment by decentralizing powers, and they have further strengthened civil society participation.
అధికారాలు మరింత కేంద్రీకృతం అవుతూ ఉన్నాయి.
But in our country, the opposite is happening. As democracy matures in the country after 75 years, and decentralization of powers is not taking place. Authoritarian tendencies have increased and power has become more centralized. The federal spirit of wanting to expand is shrinking.
ఇప్పటి వరకు కేంద్రంలో గద్దెనెక్కిన ప్రభుత్వాలన్నీ రాజ్యాంగ స్ఫూర్తిని మంటగలుపుతూ రాష్ట్రాల స్వయం ప్రతిపత్తిని కాలరాస్తూ ఉన్నాయి.
The Constitution of India gives the states considerable political, legislative, administrative and autonomous powers, but all the governments that have been in power so far have eroded the spirit of the Constitution and eroded the autonomy of the states.
ఉమ్మడి జాబితా అనే 3 జాబితాలను నిర్దేశించింది. దేశాన్ని
The
పాలించిన
7th
అన్ని
schedule of the Constitution clearly defines the powers of the centers and the states
రాష్ట్రాలపై కర్రపెత్తన
under 3 lists: the central list, the state list and the concurrent list of the joint list.
రాష్ట్ర జాబితా తరుగుతున్నది. రాజ్యాంగం పేర్కొన్న రాష్ట్రాల స్వయం ప్రతిపత్తి నామావశిష్టమైపోతున్నది. గతంలో కేంద్ర ప్రభుత్వాలే ఏర్పాటు చేసిన సర్కారియా మరియు పూంచ్ కమిషన్లు రాష్ట్రాల హక్కులను పరీక్షించేందుకు
Several items are being added to this joint list, and therefore the inventory of the joint list is growing. The functioning of the state list is getting limited. The autonomy of the state, as enshrined in the Constitution, is becoming very, very minimal. The Sarkaria and Poonch Commission, set up by the central government in the past, have made several suggestions to protect the rights of the states. But all governments that have come to power at the centre have submitted reports of these commissions to the dustbin.
పనికిమాలిన సిద్ధాంతాన్ని ప్రాతిపదికగా చేసుకున్నది. అందుకే ఈ ప్రభుత్వ హయాంలో రాష్ట్రాల హక్కుల హననం పరాకాష్ఠకు చేరుతూ ఉన్నది. కూర్చున్న కొమ్మను నరుక్కున్నట్టుగా కేంద్ర ప్రభుత్వం రాష్ట్రాలను ఆర్థికంగా బలహీనపరిచే
The central government is in fact working on the principle of conspiratorial privilege doctrine of strong state and weak, strong center and weak state. That is why the violation of rights of the state is culminated in the reign of this government.
లక్షలాది కోట్ల రూపాయలను కేంద్రం హరిస్తున్న విషయం జగమందరికీ తెలిసిన విషయమే. ఇది
The central government is conspiring to weaken the states financially, as if they are cutting off a crumbling branch. The present central government is shifting taxes in the form of cess to evade the constitutionally due share of the states from the taxes levied by the centre. It's a known fact that the centre is squandering millions of crores of rupees due to the states.
FRBM పరిమితులకు లోబడే నిర్వహిస్తూ ఆర్థిక
They are also imposing various kinds of sanctions arbitrarily, undermining the economic freedom of the states.
కేంద్రం వెంటనే పునరాలోచించాలని, రాష్ట్రాలపై విధిస్తున్న ఆర్థిక ఆంక్షలను
FRBM
వెంటనే ఎత్తివేయాలని, రాష్ట్రాల హక్కుల హననాన్ని ఇక నుంచైనా మానుకోవాలని ఈ సందర్భంగా నేను డిమాండ్ చేస్తూ ఉన్నాను. కేంద్రానికి తలవొగ్గి రైతు వ్యతిరేక విద్యుత్ సంస్కరణలు అమలు చేయకపోవడం వల్ల తెలంగాణ ఏటా 5,000 కోట్ల రూపాయలతో సమకూర్చుకునే అవకాశం కోల్పోయింది. మొత్తం 5 ఏళ్లలో 25,000 కోట్ల రూపాయలు నష్టపోవలసి
The
వస్తున్నది.
centre's attitude has become a stumbling block for states like Telangana, which maintain financial discipline by managing loans and investment expenditure within FRBM limits. I demand that the centre immediately reconsider and immediately lift the economic sanctions imposed on the states and stop any further violation of the rights of the states.
నష్టం చేసే విద్యుత్ సంస్కరణలను అంగీకరించేది లేదని
The centre's attitude towards Telangana state
నేను స్వయంగా కేంద్రానికి కుండబద్దలు కొట్టి
is
చెప్పడం
condemnable.
జరిగింది.
Telangana state is losing every year about 5,000 crore rupees as the centre has refused to implement as the state has refused to implement anti-farmer power reforms of the centre. In 5 years, the state has lost 25,000 crore rupees.
కష్టం చేసే ప్రజలు ఉండి వినియోగించుకోలేని అసమర్థతకు బాధ్యులు ఎవరు? దేశాన్ని
If you want
నడిపించడంలో
these
వైఫల్యం
25,000 crore rupees, the centre insists that we must install meters at the farmers' well and collect power charges. That is not our policy. The state has not accepted any policy that creates burden on the farmer.
ఏమైంది కాదు.
I will not accept any of these anti-farmer power reforms as long as I am alive. People's welfare in the state is very important to me.
పరిష్కారం చూపే ప్రగతిశీల ఎజెండా కావాలి. దేశానికి నూతన గమ్యాన్ని నిర్వచించాలి.
Country is not having a common aim.
మౌలికమైన పరివర్తన రావాలి.
The country is drifting like a boat with no anchor. Even after 75 years of independence, why do we still have poverty? Who is responsible for utilizing the vast human resource and natural resources that the country has in abundance? Who has failed to guide the country? People in the country who are wise should ponder on this.
రాజకీయాల్లో చిక్కి దేశం విలవిలలాడుతున్నది. దేశంలో
It is not about one front replacing another at the center. What we need is a progressive agenda which can steer the country out of its problems. We need a new destination. There should be meaningful and practical changes in the lives of the people. There should be qualitative change in the country.
సమాజ ఐక్యతకు ప్రమాదం ఏర్పడుతుంది. అశాంతి ఇదే విధంగా ప్రబలితే అంతర్జాతీయ పెట్టుబడులు రావు సరికదా.
The countries that have achieved freedom of becoming superpowers, they are still fighting over caste and religious differences. The country is in a dangerous situation. There is a politics of hate. There is no other discussion or debate in the country other than religious madness. People need to take a look at this. It is dangerous to gain political advantage out of communal clashes.
పట్టిన ఆశ్చర్యం లేదు. నిత్య ఘర్షణలు, కత్తులు, కొట్టాటలతో
If the same violence continues, there will not be any international investment in the country. It will prove detrimental to the NRIs living abroad. Hatred will take the country back about 100 years. It won't be a surprise if the country takes another 100 years to recover from this terrible situation.
నూతన పారిశ్రామిక నూతన ఆర్థిక విధానాలు కావాలి.
If the country, what the country is witnessing, building of force, communal fights, violence at the cost of the country, responsible people should not keep quiet. People in the country need jobs, employment, projects, water and power. If the country needs to be on the path of progress and development, it needs new agriculture, industrial and economic policies. For this new socio-economic political agenda path should be probed. It's my bounden duty to protect people in Telangana till my last breath. It is also my duty to fight against the politics of hatred to protect the interests of the country. There is no question of compromising at the cost of people's lives. Had we compromised, would we have achieved Telangana?
ఉజ్వల భారతదేశ నిర్మాణం కోసం
Haven't we achieved Telangana by putting our lives at stake? The Telangana agenda, which is distributing fruits of development, should be available and implemented all over the country. Telangana people should be in the forefront to build an amazing India. And I pray to God to grant us the strength and wisdom to achieve a qualitative change in the country.
జై తెలంగాణ, జై హింద్.